I told him after the game that I had mixed emotions about the game. Obviously, we had to watch the film. I thought there were times where we played really good basketball. I thought there were other times where we made some mental errors that we've got to get cleaned up, and we will. I've got a group who really cares, and they want to be really good, so they care. That character I've been talking about now, dating back to the fall, that's where that really pays off. We'll take a look at the film here in the next couple days in an effort to get better and improve heading into the next weekend. So from that standpoint, I thought our transition defense was good at times, and other times we didn't get matched up. And I thought underneath out of bounds we executed, and then at other times it was sloppy. And I thought the ball moved at times, and at other times I thought it stuck. So it's just kind of feast or famine, and we'll look to get that cleaned up. I got smart guys. They know that we've got to be better consistently than what we were here today, and I'm confident we will be. We'll have to get better here over the next few days, obviously heading into next weekend. I do want to thank everybody that came out. I thought it was, for a lot of us, it was, first time over here, getting used to venue and all the different things that entails. And so I thought that was a good thing. I'm looking forward to the next 2 weekends here in the state capitol with even more fans in the seats. So I'll challenge everybody to come out and watch our group. We've got a really good group of guys. Questions for the players?
You mentioned this is your first time in this building. How do you think?
We'll go questions for the players first, then I'll go next. That's okay.
Jalen,
I'll go next. Go ahead, guys.
How'd it feel just to play and to play a lot today?
It was a good experience. It's my first time we went out there, run up and down with, same players that we're practicing with. So it was, experience I'll never forget.
Did you feel any conditioning issues from not playing?
Well, a little bit.
Be honest.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. Right now, I'm still getting my feet, underneath me, especially as a shooter. You always need that, to have some lift in, your shot. So that's essential when you're making shots. So just being able to not just be in condition, but in the condition to hold myself to a standard where I know I can be effective and play to my best.
Do you have any confidence issues coming back from that? Like, are you confident in your leg and everything?
Oh yeah, that's not a problem. Right now, it's mostly for me. It's just good reps, repetition, and just being out here with my guys, so chemistry can continue to build.
Any nerves or early kicks? Did you feel like yourself out there?
A little bit, but after that, after you're on the court for a few minutes, it's like now you're just playing a game. So.
Mike, what was the difference in the first and second half for you?
I just think in the first half I got in a little foul trouble, a little nervous at the beginning. First time playing in front of a crowd in a while. But I thought in both halves I brought effort. I just think I was fortunate enough in the second half my teammates found me on some good looks and I got some, good looks in the basket and was able to do. But I thought I played hard both halves. I think I let the game come to me. That was it.
Seemed like you and Michael both were pretty effective at kicking the ball out when you got doubled in the low post. Is that like an emphasis of practice?
Yeah, that's something we work on a lot in practice. When I get double, me finding open guys on the wings, and we draw things for me to get it out of the post, so I won't turn it over and make the right play.
For either one of you, what do you try to establish and kind of accomplish in a game like this? Because obviously the pace and tempo is much different than practice.
I believe our motto is just taking one game at a time. Of course we have a strategy, so making sure that we do whatever the coach or whatever's on, whatever our strategy. Whether it be getting back on D and talking, just all around, just improvement, being better than what we were yesterday or the day before. So improvement.
Jalen, how frustrating has it been to miss so much of training, and how nice is it that you're apparently going to be ready for opening day?
You said frustrated?
How frustrated has it been that you've been hurt, and how excited are you to be healthy and ready for your first game?
It hasn't really been frustrating. Honestly, it actually allowed me to cherish the game a lot more. I got a different perspective on the game. I feel like my IQ has increased. So it was a different outlook, a different way I looked at it. And ultimately, I just make me a better player. But
Your mechanics looked fine. 5 out of 9 from 3. So, I mean, how do you stay in that kind of motion in that zone where you can't play all the time? Did you ever feel rusty throughout that process?
not so much rush, like I said, conditioning was a key, point in, like I said, in my success personally, just because, that's where I feel like I'm, mostly impactful, like when I have legs underneath me, when I can make plays, and when I can play defense, to be more of an impact for my teams and help out.
Then are you the type of kid that feeds off the crowd? There were a couple of times today when you shot, fans stood up because they thought every shot was going to go in. Do you feed off that kind of stuff?
Personally, I feel like every shot that I shoot is going in, so but hopefully the crowd can get that same,
So do me and Mike.
feel. So no, I really, of course, it helps, hearing the roar after every shot, but also, I feel like every shot I shoot is going in.
What did you guys think of your first experience as an Illini in front of the Illini fans? Go ahead, Mike.
I thought it was great, great fan support, and I just look forward to, coming out playing hard every night in front of the fans.
Anything else? These two? Okay, I'll let them go. Probably have to escort you back. Keep going with Cody.
Yeah, it was good. Dropped a little bit, but it was good.
Questions?
John, what was your expectation for playing time and how Jalen would be effective? What was
I thought he played, I thought he played as good or better probably, Jeremy, than what I thought he would play. I mean, he's only practiced 2 days. He missed the entire summer. He missed all the European practices. He missed the 4 European games. He missed the entire fall training camp. He didn't practice with any type of contact until this past week, and that was rationed a little bit. And then he just he had a couple days of 45 minutes to an hour, then a couple days of an hour-ish plus of contact, and then we knew he'd be available today. I thought there were some spurts where his conditioning played a factor, but that's normal. I mean, there's a difference between basketball shape and versus running on a training on a Vertimax, or running on a treadmill, or court, or just running line drills. So that's going to take some time, but I thought we took a step in the right direction tonight with that. Obviously he made shots. He'll be the first to tell you he's got to clean up some blocking out. He's got to clean up running into screens. He's got to clean up some of those things that you can talk about and he can see in drills, but they're harder to execute at real-time speed. So I thought at least the fact that he was able to practice this past week, play today, he'll practice again this week, will certainly get him closer to where he needs to be. But he'll be the first to tell you he's still got a long way to go.
Were there different combinations out there you thought kind of gelled more than others?
Obviously the combination in the first half, they got 7 stops in a row. I like that gelling. That led to offense for us that led to the 17-point run. I thought that group played really well defensively, and usually when our defense is pretty good, that can ignite some offense. And certainly when you're a team like we are, where we have a low post scorer and we have multiple shooters on the floor. So we had several guys in double figures today. DJ and Jalen, all these other guys are just as likely to get double figures in a game as anybody else. They just didn't happen to today. We've got a lot of weapons on that end of the floor.
Who were those 5?
Young guys are getting a lot of reps. DJ and Aaron, what do you think about what you got from them?
Feast or famine, Marcus. I thought there were times they did some good things, and then there for a while, neither one of them blocked out, and I thought maybe they struck a deal. The freshman class is going to not block out tonight. They gave up a bunch of offensive rebounds, and then we got driven a couple times, and then we challenged them, and then I thought they guarded the ball better, and then we called the one timeout, and I thought they started blocking out better. So it's either feast or famine, and that's kind of how I feel without having the film in front of me at this juncture. But I've said over and over, the fact that those 2 guys have not had a sub in practice for a long time now has certainly accelerated their improvement and growth. They've gotten way more reps than you would normally get at this stage. and I think that's really helped both DJ and AJ.
Being your first time in this building, how did the game day process go today?
Well, it's actually my second time in the building. I was recruiting here one time when I was back in Ohio. But we loved it. Obviously, we're staying right here, so just to be able to eat here, get taped here, show film here, walk over to shoot around, not get on a bus. The friendliness of everyone here in Springfield from the moment we arrived last night to this morning. They got some great Starbucks ladies right across the street over here. I'm not surprised. I didn't see it last night when I came in because it was dark, but all the signage around the building on poles and the renaming of the street Illini Way, we really appreciate all of Springfield's efforts to make this our home away from home here for a month or so.
Do you look at playing here as an opportunity to kind of spread that Illinois brand?
Oh, sure. Obviously you always try to make lemonade out of lemons. There's no secret. We'd love to be in our new arena. We're very excited about it. I think it's going to be state of the art, as nice as there is in the country. But for them to be able to finish that, for us to have a place here in Springfield, I think made a lot of sense. And we love the reception that we received all the way from the time we arrived last night. So, and trying to turn that into a positive, obviously, whether it's spreading the brand, whether it's working your road routine, okay, whatever that road or neutral court routine, all those things are real positives. The fact that you can get 18 to 22-year-olds off our campus and secluded, quarantined, and locked in on game prep, that's not bad either. So there's a lot of positives in doing this. But again, I think the overall feeling we have just an appreciation for all that Springfield's done in preparation for our stay here this weekend and the next 2 weekends.
There were 32 fouls called in the first half, really no flow in that first half. Did you expect that as with the new rule they were trying to emphasize?
You know what's interesting? I did going into last weekend, didn't think the scrimmage was called that way. And then this weekend I thought it was called like I thought it was going to be called last weekend. So there's still some adjustment period for everybody. Everybody. The new 30-second within a media rule came into play today, and we thought we had a media timeout. They said we didn't, and then all of a sudden we figured out we did. So they're adjusting as well. So a lot of rule changes, more in 1 year than I've certainly ever seen in my time as a college basketball coach. So that requires adjustment for everybody, players, coaches, officials, you name it. And I realize that. So, but we're going to have to adjust, I think, on a game-by-game basis. I didn't think we adjusted very well. We continued to, we've got to adjust to the officiating a little bit better than we did. I thought we fouled a little bit too much. We'll get that cleaned up.
Because what was the explanation on the DJ Williams and one? It was a live ball, and they were probably worth the basketball.
Yeah, it was just a mistake there. I mean, it happens. I think they didn't realize it was an AM1, which it was. And then Finke got the rebound and tossed it to DJ. So we actually had two guys touch it. And I think they felt like, as they congregated there, that they had it off that rebound situation, which, stuff happens. It's obviously, going backwards and hindsight and all that's always 20/20, but at real-time speed, it just happened. We had to kind of roll with it.
John, we're on, had to work out before the game.
Yeah, he looked great. They said I wasn't up there. They said he was moving really well. Yeah. This week, I thought the first day he came back, he was just okay. Not necessarily anything with the injury. That's great. He's great there, but just trying to get his legs back under him and get some power and explosiveness back. The next day, I thought he was a little bit better, and then today, partially him improving and partially probably being out there with people around, like, your adrenaline gets kicking, and he told me he felt really, really good. So, we'll anticipate giving him an opportunity like J. Cole had this past week to do some contact things this week and kind of see where it stacks up heading into Friday.
Who were the 5 that got the 7 straight stops?
Lewis, Coleman-LAnds, Thorne, Hill, and either Williams or Jordan, Rob. But that was the group that was in there.
With Jalen coming back and LeRon hopefully coming back, your rotation is going to be a work in progress, obviously.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it just is what it is. Yeah, you can't change that. That's part of it. It's very dynamic right now. There's a lot of variables. The only thing I keep saying to myself is Marcus alluded to earlier about the young newcomers getting a ton of reps, they're learning faster. And the fact that some of these things, if there is a silver lining, they happened in the fall or early part of the season. You don't ever want them to happen, but you know, stuff happens. You got to deal with it and try to find a way to make the best out of it.
Way fewer high ball screens today, it seemed, than any of your teams before. You just adapting to your personnel?
Yeah, a little bit. We have a ball screen package. We didn't run as much of that today. We just didn't. We thought what we were running was going to be effective, and I thought it was at times. You know, obviously we've got to make a concerted effort to look inside out. You know, like I said, Big Bo, he's a load down there.
John, I know it's early, it's one game, but Jalen seems to have a maturity, whether it's dealing with us or with the prep program he had. Is he more ready than most freshmen coming in?
Oh, without question. Other than the fact that right now he's behind in terms of reps. Reps and conditioning. And there's nothing any of us can do or he can do to control that at this point. It is what it is. So I think as he gets more reps and gets more in basketball shape, I think he could even take another jump. He's always going to make shots. I mean, he's a shot maker, but we need him to do other things, not running into screens, rebounding better, understanding offensive and defensive schemes better that only come with repetition. And so the exciting thing for us is we just think in those areas he's just scratched the surface.
As far as exhibition game, did you see what you needed to see today?
Yeah. We've got to obviously get better. I knew it would be a challenge. I thought I knew coming into the game they shot 37% from three last year as a team, and I thought they were a better shooting team this year than last year. They got going from three there at a couple junctures. We've got to defend the three-point line better. I thought transition defense would be tested. I thought they got us early in transition. I thought they did. I thought guarding the basketball, they have some good one-on-one players, whether it's Austin or Millicent or. So I thought we got challenged on the backboard in the second half. When we didn't block out, they made us pay. They punished us. So, yes, I thought that was a good test for us. Obviously this thing continues to get ramped up, starting this upcoming Friday.
Tate and Lewis, kind of a platoon system there at point guard. How would you assess the play of those two?
Yeah, they played well. I didn't necessarily go into the game thinking I was going to play them together, but we did some as well. And then obviously they played, opposite each other also. I thought both of them were effective. They had 8 assists to 3 turnovers between the two of them. I thought both of those guys guarded the basketball pretty well, maybe as good as anybody we had out there in terms of keeping it in front. Thought they both pushed it really hard. Thought they made good decisions. I thought they did their jobs very well.
And 100% from three-point range between the two of them.
Yeah. Is that right, Rob?
Coach,
That's impressive.
The first
We'll take 100%.
First time you were in this building, who were you looking at? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. That's between me and that kid. I don't forget very many things like that. So I remember those things. What else? Guys, appreciate you coming out. We'll see you this upcoming week and upcoming weekend. Thanks.